Good morning, Bible lovers. I know it's been a long time, but I just wanted to get on here and just discuss a few things that have been going on in our world today without discussing the few things going on in our world today. Let's start with Genesis. I want to look at this word here, mark. God put a mark upon Cain. And this word, mark, is Hebrew H226, oth, and it literally means a mark or a sign, like when God puts the sun and the moon and the stars in the sky for a sign, or an omen or a warning, a distinguishing mark. Okay? Next, we want to go to Leviticus, where God says specifically, do not put any marks upon you, for I am the Lord. Okay? We're not supposed to do this. It doesn't matter. And that word mark are all these words, mark. And it is imprint, mark, tattoo, beheading, out of joint, cutting off, he camel. Okay, let's go further. Let's go to Deuteronomy 6:8. Frontlets. God's commands will be frontlets between thine eyes. It says it's to Israel, but this time Israel was God's people, and he was their God, and there were no Christians. So if you were God's people, you were to be keeping God's commands, and they would be frontlets between your eyes, which is H2903, topeth, bands, phylacteries, frontlets, marks that go around or bind, comes from the Greek, or can be the Greek equivalent of asoletos, which is unmovable. Very, very important there. So those are the marks that God gives you when you obey his commands, which is important. Okay, we see here that there's the mark of the righteous, and that these people get a mark. Okay? They are righteous men. They get a mark. They're crying for the abominations that are done in the city. That mark... Oh, wait, sorry. That mark is this one. It's the Tav. Comes from Tava. Mark out. It's an exemption from judgment. So, they're exempt from judgment. Who wants to be exempt from judgment? I do. Okay, let's go. Revelation. I want to talk about marks. I want to talk about worshiping, image, closet, receive, mark, right hand, red. Over here, it's almost the exact same verse. Worships, image, receive, mark, forehead, hand. See what we're missing here? Right. You got it. All right. And this word here, in the Greek, it's the only time it's used. This one, used lots of times. We'll get to it though. Where is it? We'll get to it. So, let's start. Let's zip through this fast before our phone dies. So, causeth, Greek. Oh, wait, hold on. It's supposed to be this one first. Sorry about that. So, worship. Here's our Greek. Means to kiss like a dog licks his master's hand. I'm guessing with your head tilted back. The shock. Shake with fear. So how many people were scared when they were bending their heads back? Bow down means to work, to keep in bondage, come to pass. Okay, we have image. 13, 14, and 15. Likeness. And interestingly, it means a vain show. Have you seen any vain shows going on in the media these days? Causeth. So, it's the Greek word that it is. To make, to produce, to construct, form, fashion, author. To be the father of something. Do we have any authors or fathers of things? Anything to get ready for somebody else to distribute? We're biding some time here. Who knows? I'm not sure. What does that mean? Eat, devour, burn up, spoil, plunder, bake. Bana. If there's a mark by it, we're going to see it again. Here, this came up with worship, to bow down. It also means to cause somebody to transgress the law of God. Literally means that. With this word chada, sin, miss the mark, go wrong, forfeit, and incur guilt. So they're causing people. Let's go to Mark. Mark's interesting. This is actually the oldest word here. Sound like anything that's been in our news lately? It means to write. Then we got the pencil, and they got a little better at it, so it means sharpen to a point. It's also those things, the palisades and things you would put in around, like if you were going to impale somebody or stab them. And this is the word mark that we are not supposed to get according to Leviticus. Here's our Hebrew equivalents. Okay? Hebrew equivalents. This is chapter 14, receive. And that would fit in right there in the succession. Hack, engrave, cut in stone, commandment, law, decree. Distress. How many people are in distress, so they're getting some defenses? Oh, here's our word mark. Okay, this is the receive. It's only used here in the Bible. This is what it means. Number. Yield up. It's to go in, to enter, to come in. Obtain children. Repair. How many needs to get their DNA repaired right now? Plunder. Be sore. Occupy, come to poverty, complete, be at an end. We're at the end. Properly be erect. You better keep those containers straight up and down. Come royalty, illuminate. Anybody under any tyranny or feeling distressed about things? We've heard some rumors about making sure that you have yourself covered and wrapped. We hear anything about that? It's all a pledge, an exchange, a mortgage, literally a debt you're going to pay on until you die. If you've ever looked up that word, it gets better. Get here. Breed worms. Turn back from God. Repetition. Have we heard some things over and over again? Okay, now we're going to look at forehead. Literally means the space between your eyes. But your forehead's a little above your eyes. Ops comes from the root word the face. Here's our Greek. Meta. Meta book maybe? Who knows? To be clear, conspicuous, open, and prominent. It's almost like it's as plain as the nose on my face. And continuing future. Ancients, forever. What do they know that we don't know? Okay, last thing we just want to look at. Oh, right. So here's our word right. Dextrose, right hand, in place of honor. This I thought was really interesting because Anna in Genesis, he loses all his father's asses to some wild beasts that come up out of there, and everybody's asking him, like, where do they go? Where do they go? So that was really funny to me. But Yemen means hand. And if you notice, this is like, it's your power, right? Or your honor, okay? Something you're going to do with. It's literally what you do with your hand, but it has nothing to do with what side necessarily, okay? So now we have hand. Here's our Greek. Here's our definition. The power of control. More stronger and more dexterous. That's literally what it means. You know, like your right-hand man. Cloud, handle, arm. So, handle, hollow out. Marked by implication. See, here's our word tav. That we're supposed to be getting. But we're not getting it here. This is like your arm. Your handle is like your arm. Just want to point that out. This is a receive. After. This is in 14:9. It's the other one right down here. Receive us, okay? Means you're betrothed. Oh, it also, here's our Greek, our English, our Greek. Circumvent by fraud. Give a person access to oneself. Here's the words. Behold, lo, that's never good. To become pregnant with worms, maybe, like the Hydra, the immortal Hydra. Anybody know about that? Oh, and there's that verse in Mark about the worm that doesn't die. So that's kind of interesting. Considering that these people, we know that the smoke of their torment goes up forever and ever. Okay? So it's kind of interesting how we go. Oh, and here's this thing about the commands of God. How did we get the commands of God? How do we get those immovable marks? Or do we need to keep them? So life support gets better. Reach, overtake, enough, have enough, attain, catch, handle, wield, be arrested, captured, to become like, to be equivalent, become powerful, ratify, impose. These are not good. This, what is going on in the world from the mask to the weekly up the nose. This is all a violation of your temple. This is no good. The closing of the churches caused the sacrifice of Thanksgiving to be stopped. People, wake up. We're at the end. The tribulation is the time of Jacob's trouble. Jacob is Israel, and if you think that Israel is just the people living in the Middle East, it's not. It's God's people. This is a big time. Have a great day.